You've discovered the 3-bedroom house that you thought you were buying is actually a 2-bedroom. Sound impossible? It happens. Let's get into it. If you're new here, welcome to Behind the Sold Board. My name's Ian, 30 years an estate agent in the United Kingdom. Built a business, ran the business, sold the business, and now I give impartial advice to home movers as I've got no skin in the game. In this video, we're going to talk about how is it even possible that the 3-bed house you're buying is a 2-bed? What are the implications? And ultimately, what can you do about it to solve it? Now, this video was inspired by this comment in a Facebook group I'm in. It was a long and complex post, which I'm not going to read out in full, but I'll break it down for you. And here is my reply. So if you want to pause it and look at these, please do. In this instance, the buyer was buying a property and advertised as a 3-bedroom house. The property had originally had 3 bedrooms on the first floor and had a loft conversion well over 10 years ago, which had a staircase through what was the 3rd bedroom or the box room. And here's the issue. They didn't have building regs for the loft room to be called a bedroom. The buyer's lender had done a survey and valuation, and they'd actually downvalued the property from, I think, the 280 they were paying for it. They downvalued it, I think, to 265. So there are 3 implications from buying a property where a loft conversion is advertised as a bedroom but doesn't have building regs. The first implication is that loft conversion safe? Will it fall down? Will the roof sag? Will the ceiling sag? Is the staircase safe? Will the council come back? Will they ask you to make good to modern standard or the building reg standard of the time? Number 3 is value. Now, the latter 2 are easier to deal with than the first one. Will there be issues with the standard of construction? And this is really the most difficult one to pinpoint. I'm not a surveyor, so if you've had a home buyer's report or a full structural survey, that's probably going to give you a good indication of whether you're going to go and have problems with the loft conversion in the future. Number 2, if it's been there for a long time, this one I think was probably done in 2010, if I remember rightly from the post. So that's 16 years ago now. This is 2026. If something was going to go wrong with it, it likely would have gone wrong by now. So I would be reassured by a survey, and I would be reassured by the fact that a good amount of time has passed and nothing's gone wrong. Potentially it's going to be okay. The second one, building regs. Is the council likely to come back and say, we want you to either take the loft conversion out completely and therefore reinstate it to a loft? And potentially your 3-bedroom house goes back to a 3-bedroom house with a lot of cost to you. Now, in my experience, local authorities are not the least bit interested in enforcing retrospective building regs. Where I worked in the southeast of England, the local council, after a year, they weren't interested at all, if they were even interested in the first year about building regs. The one thing, if you are buying a house and there is a building regulations issue with it, do not go and talk to the council, because 99% of building regs issues can be insured against with what we call an indemnity policy. And this is something that your solicitor will select that will satisfy you as a buyer and your lender, that if the council ever came back and said, we want you to reinstate that as it was, it would pay you out for either the difference in value of the property and the cost of doing it, or in some instances, the indemnity policy would pay you out for the cost of the house if it would be more difficult to prove a value. But ultimately, you can insure against the council coming back in the highly, highly unlikely event that they ever will. Now, the third one, value, which was the issue in this buyer's situation. The estate agent had valued the property and advertised it as a 3-bed. The first thing here is that the agent should have done their due diligence to ensure that what they were selling as a 3-bed had building regs and could be advertised as a 3-bed. Estate agents and effectively sellers of houses are bound by a piece of legislation called the Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations 2008. I know, catchy title, huh? In the property market, the estate agent takes the responsibility of the consumer protection regulations from the seller. We would have a questionnaire that the seller had to fill out, and that questionnaire covered all sorts of aspects about the property. You know, have they got building regs for things? Is there anything that we as an agent should be telling the buyer? So a seller can't now just bury their head in the sand and not tell an agent. But the onus is on the agent to proactively go and ask the seller questions about the property so that they know they will not mislead a buyer. So the buyer could have a claim against the agent under the Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations. The valuation, the bank surveyor obviously checked whether there was building regs or not, which the agent should have done. There weren't, so they downvalued the property. Now, my recommendation to the buyer was to go to the agent and revise their offer down if they still wanted to buy the house to a level that the valuation said, because effectively, to the letter of the law at the moment, they're buying a 2-bedroom house, and if they ever want to sell it on again, they're going to have to sell it as a 2-bed house if they don't make changes to comply with building regs. So to sum up, 3 issues here. Is a construction sound? Good deal of time has passed, so probably fine, and your survey's probably okay with it. Number 2, is the council likely to come back and chase you to correct anything? No, unlikely. You can insure against it. Number 3, agents at fault not checking it, and you should revise your offer downwards to the valuation because effectively you're buying a 2-bedroom house. If you're in this situation, I really hope this video has helped you. If you like what you've seen here today and you'd like to see more property content, please hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, share it with anybody you think might be going through this situation and might find it useful. If you're on a mobile, there's a hype button, so hit the hype button as well if you've liked it. If you've got a property situation or a question about what's going on in this video, drop it in the comments below and I'll try and do a video to help. If you need your hand holding a little bit closer, my email is in the video description. Feel free to reach out and I'll do my best to help you. Thank you very much for watching. You might like this video if you're buying a house on the modern method of auction and how it might catch you out. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.